Tua Tagovailoa drops 6 TDs on the Baltimore Ravens.
Comeback too. That's the best part
He
about
is
it.
on pace to shatter the passing record. I know it's just 2 weeks, but he is on pace to shatter the passing record.
That's what happens when you get Tyreek Hill.
And Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, Waddle.
And not to be understated, Mike Gesicki's
His fucking touchdown.
like 15-foot catch.
Yeah, the way he got his feet in the back of the end zone was purdy.
That was one of the most impressive throws of the day for me from Tua.
Yeah, a lot of them were just not to take away from Tua, but they were throws any NFL quarterback can make, and then the plays after the catch. Waddle and Hill making a lot of plays.
I mean, the throw at the end of the game was impressive. To Waddle to win the game, he was rolling out to his left, which is a lefty, so it's natural. But he threw it high. It was a little inaccurate, I thought, but maybe he placed it there. But only Jalen Waddle could have made a play on it, and he did.
And then he seems to be doing and trending.
Yeah, and then the play to Gesicki, that was a really good pass because they were like 20 yards out, something like that. And there were Ravens in front of him in the end zone. So the only place to throw it was high and get that nice velocity with the loft to the back of the end zone, and he did. And those are the types of throws where you have to rely on your players to make the play, but they're like perfect passes.
I just come to the fact that it was 35-14 going into the fourth quarter, and the Ravens lost.
Oh, it was definitely a meltdown from the Ravens.
And I will still stay. I know the Dolphins won, and a lot of things weren't going right. Until late in the fourth quarter, Xavier Howard was playing like garbage.
Yeah, I mean, Lamar Jackson was picking them apart for the most part. Yeah,
Bateman had a catch off a slant, took it for a touchdown.
And then you see, first of all, Howard looks like he was jogging half the time. And then when Bateman finally snaps up field for the last 5 yards to get in the end zone, Howard was literally side by side with him, and he just stopped and watched him get across the plane.
Yeah. I mean,
however, like I said, lots of things didn't go their way, but he looked like he wasn't even trying.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at, it's just crazy by how the fourth quarter changed the whole outlook of the game. I mean, the Dolphins outpossessed them 34-25. They had 15 more plays. They ended up having they had 75 more yards. And it's funny, the Dolphins had 8 penalties to the Ravens only 1. So kind of sometimes penalties get teams back in games. But, I mean, going into the third quarter, if the game had finished before the fourth quarter started, all week people would be talking about how good of a game Lamar had because he had a really good game.
He did.
He threw the ball well. He had, first player in NFL history with a 75-yard rushing touchdown and throwing touchdown.
Yep.
He passed Vic on the most 100-yard games rushing.
Yep. Yeah, he looked like 20. Not that he ever didn't look the same, but it looked like 2019 Lamar Jackson, a type of game he would have then. But a little worrisome for the Ravens because it looked like last year where if Lamar doesn't have an amazing game, if Lamar, there's no run game really besides Lamar, and their defense was horrible, especially at the end of the game.
Yeah, they need to. Their rookie safety first-round pick, Hamilton, he needs to either not be playing or he needs to be in the box.
Kyle Hamilton? Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't watched a ton of film on him. Is he playing primarily deep safety or something?
I think they move him around, but he's not playing. I don't know his rating off the top of my head, but it can't be good. I think he had a few missed tackles against the Jets, and then the Dolphins, their last touchdown to make it a one-score game. You see the corner, Armin Davis. He's in a flat zone coverage. He lets Hill or Waddle, I can't remember which one at that point, run right past him, and then there's no safety there. And then you see Hamilton is like arguing with Armin Davis, like pointing at him, like, "Oh, what did you do?" Blah blah. And then Marcus Williams runs up and grabs Hamilton and starts pointing at him, like, "No, that was your spot. You blew the coverage."
Yeah, I mean, I want to give him the benefit. I'd like to give him the benefit of the doubt, just because it's a second career NFL game. But
if it's supposed to be like a cover 2 look, and you're nowhere near the back.
I mean it's definitely his fault, and that is a problem. But I don't think they shouldn't play him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, trial by fire, I guess. The other thing is they got rid of Wink Martindale, right? Because their defense was atrocious last year.
Mm-hmm.
They bring in what's his name, McDonald?
Yes,
from Michigan. Defense looks pretty much just outside of getting a bunch of fumbles against the Jets in Week 1. The defense looks pretty much just as bad. Also, Marcus Williams is balling out for them.
Wait a minute.
3 picks in 2 games.
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to verify something. I got confused. Go ahead.
No worries. And then they have no pass rush at all.
No.
Where's the rookie from last year?
Adafeowe, yeah, nowhere to be seen. And then Justin Houston got a sack on Tua early in the game, but when they showed the replay, the left tackle didn't even block him. The left tackle let him run right by, so it was just a free rusher because it was just a bad play by the O-line. But yeah, like you said, Trevor, it looks like last year where Lamar Jackson has to do his like Superman show, and even then they're going to lose.
Yeah, and I mean, that just can't happen. I mean, last year was one thing with all the injuries. And
the worst part is their run defense isn't good, and their pass defense as of right now might be worse.
Yeah, they definitely have some screws to tighten for sure.
On the flip side, Rashad Bateman looks really good.
He does. He's taking over that number 1 role.
Mark Andrews is still one of the best tight ends in the league.
That dropping blew my mind though. It was only 1, but still.
Yeah, and then Lamar Jackson is still Lamar Jackson. But I think we got a little off topic because we're supposed to be talking about Tua.
Whatever. Talking about the game.
Well, I guess what I want to say was this more a collapse or the Dolphins clicking on all gears?
I lean more towards a Ravens defensive collapse. At the same time, it's still Tyreek Hill.
I think you have to, in a situation so polarizing as this outcome in that fourth quarter, it's both. I mean, he threw 6 touchdowns. They scored, 28 points in the fourth quarter?
Yep.
And, I mean, yes, the defense has to collapse, but you still have to click on offense. Yes, some of the throws, like Tyreek's bomb, most NFL quarterbacks should make that throw, but there were definitely other plays that needed to be made, whether they were throws or broken tackles or tough catches, and on the defensive side of the ball.
I'll say this. Even if it was mainly as a collapse by the Ravens, similar to their early season collapse against the Titans 2 years ago, when the Titans had a comeback, forced overtime, and then won.
Mm-hmm.
The Dolphins, I still think put the league on notice. Goes back to my Deshaun Jackson theory. If you have someone that is a good receiver and has elite speed, you force the defense to play a specific way, and then you have 2 of them on the outside. So the defense is either forced to play super aggressive and be good, or play super safe and then hamstring the rest of their team. So I think what we're going to see eventually is the Dolphins' run game start to looking really good. But as soon as you fall asleep, 80-yard touchdown.
Another thing too, if you go back and look at some of their pre-snap formations, that's some fancy stuff Mike McDaniel's doing.
Well, yeah, he did. He was the run game coordinator for the Niners the last 2 years.
Yeah, it's definitely there.
But
Chase Edmonds did all right, didn't he? Finally,
he had a 30-yard rush, which changed his whole stat line.
Yeah.
But I'd be interested. I think all three of us agree that Tua is a little bit of a noodle arm.
Yeah, I mean, you still saw some of those noodle throws too, but they still,
He doesn't have a strong arm. Everyone knows that, but I mean, maybe Tyreek Hill is. I don't want to say he's better than everyone thought. Everyone knows Tyreek Hill's good, but I guess I underestimated if he can get that wide open. Tua can underthrow him just a little bit because that's happened in both games this year. I think Tua underthrew him just a little bit, but he beat the coverage so bad.
I think one of Tua's biggest indictments is this might just be me. I feel like he's terrible at scrambling.
Yeah, I don't think he was. I would have to go back and watch. But in Alabama, pre-injury, he wasn't like,
I just mean like mainly like his movement when the pocket starts to break down. I feel like more often than not he makes the wrong decision.
Yeah, I wouldn't call him an elusive quarterback. I would say he has the athleticism to move around. But yeah, I mean, I would probably agree with you.
Yeah, I'm just saying more so his choices he makes. Yeah, pocket awareness. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
But hey, maybe he'll keep this up. He'll end up. You said, right, Trevor, that you said someone's going to throw for 6,000 yards this year. Maybe it's him.
If it ends up being Tua, I don't know. I got to go reevaluate some things. If Tua throws 6,000 yards, somebody else is throwing 7,000.
Heard it here first.
I think I said Justin Herbert was going to throw 6,000.
Well, you know who the top three passers are yards wise.
Yeah, Wentz.
It's
Flacco.
Tua, Wentz, and Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Only done in the first half.